Hey everyone. So, I know you're probably confused as to why I'm dressed like this. Well, that's because I decided to run a 10K as Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big day. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
So for a little bit of backstory, there's this 10K race in Atlanta near where I live called the Peachtree, and it happens, every single year. It's a 10K through the city of Atlanta, super fun time. There's people cheering you on, handing out free food, free merch, all that kind of stuff. It's a great time. And at the end of the 2019 race, I was thinking to myself, what would be a fun idea? To run it as Spider-Man, because you see some people dressed up, but nobody ever really goes that all out with their costumes. So I figured, hey, that'd be a fun idea. I'll do it in 2020. We know how 2020 went. Peachtree was virtual, didn't get to do it. And so I was thinking, hey, things are opening back up again. I'm vaccinated, I'm running the Peachtree. What would be a better idea than to run it as Spider-Man now? I'm in the best shape of my life. I can make a video out of this. It's a great, fun return to form. And then I spent basically almost $100 on this suit. That's a lot of money. Just for a little insider knowledge, this YouTube account makes me no money. So, I love doing it and everything, but this was a big investment. But I figured, hey, you know what? It's going to be fun. It's going to do it. And the suit, it's a really high quality suit. It was $100, so it better be. But yeah, it's a great one. And I was just thinking, I live in Georgia. The weather is in the summer, it can even get low as like in the 60s occasionally, or it can go over 100. So I started training for a little while in a sweatpants and sweatshirt to kind of build myself up. And then, today was race day. Not obviously the day you're watching this, but I just got back from the race. And now I'm very tired. So let me tell you about it, though, because it was a great time. Yeah!
Let's go, Spider-Man.
Woo!
Let's go.
So I had to wake up super early for this to get down to Atlanta and make sure I got there at the right time and where my group was and all that kind of stuff. So it was an early day for me.
So it is about 5:30 in the morning right now. This is what it looks like in my neighborhood, getting ready to go to the race. And this is how I am currently dressed. So I'm sure anyone who would see me right now would be very confused why Spider-Man is hanging out in the suburbs at 5:30 in the morning, but here we are.
But one of the benefits of being up early is that it wasn't actually super hot out yet. The sun was barely even up, so it wasn't beating down on me yet. And that was a huge benefit. The thing is, before I even started running, I had people already going, Spider-Man, and like cheering me on. Like, I was just hanging out on the side of the road. There were also a lot of people going, is that Spider-Man? Just very confused, because all they saw at the beginning was me just standing on the side of the road in full Spider-Man outfit, not even running, just kind of hanging out before I got ready to get into the race. So yeah, it would be a little bit weird. When the race kicked off, I was honestly feeling pretty good. Like, it wasn't too many people. There were a lot less people than there normally were in the races. So that accounted for both runners and people on the sides, which kind of sucked. Cheering and seeing everybody out there is one of the best parts. But it was funny how many people immediately started reacting to me being Spider-Man. Seriously, it was crazy. All right, so mile one, feeling pretty good. Spider-Man costume. It's actually a little bit cold out, so Spider-Man costume might have been moved. Ran the whole thing with the mask on. Don't know if I'm going to be able to keep that up, but not feeling terrible for mile one. As the race continued, I was honestly feeling pretty good. The Spider-Man costume is skin tight, but it's actually very breathable. So I was not getting super overwhelmed. I did have to avoid all the little mist things they did, though, as that would have waterboarded myself with the mask. And I was really not trying to get waterboarded. That does not seem like an idea of a good time to me. There's also one point where you run past a church, and they had some priests out there, and they were throwing holy water and blessing all the runners. And then 3 separate priests, they were like, bless you all, and bless Spider-Man. And we're throwing the holy water at me directly. 3 different priests did that. Like, they singled Spider-Man out, and they had to bless Spider-Man. So I guess just like Spider-Man is holy now. Will the vampires get messed up by his webbing? Who knows? That could happen, I guess. It was just a very interesting reaction. I don't know if I've ever seen like a priest, full like, little collar and everything. The idea of them saying, Spider-Man, you are blessed, never really crossed my mind until it happened today. So it was interesting, to say the least.
So, mile 2, feeling all right. Mask out a little bit hot. It's getting a little sweaty in the Spider-Man costume, so I had to take the mask off for a little bit. Just got triple blessed by some priests back there, so I guess, holy Spider-Man, whatever you'll take of that. So, but yeah, kind of getting into the groove. It's warming up a little bit. Sun's actually coming out, which I am not a fan of because that means it's going to get a whole lot hotter soon, but still feeling very good for this part.
It was funny, though, because as the race continued, not only were people still, cheering for me and very excited, that happened the entire time, but people started coming up and be like, hey, can I take a picture with you? It's weird, though, because that was the first time I've ever felt like a celebrity. So it was interesting having people come up and be like, yo, I want to take a picture with you. You're so cool. Because now they got pictures of themselves with, with Spider-Man, but it's just some random kid. Like, it's just me. I'm just regular person. As the race continued, it was kind of the same old. I was honestly feeling really good this whole time. I was training a lot beforehand, and so that actually really paid off. I didn't know if it would or not, but it definitely helped. I was feeling good. It did get a little bit hotter though as the sun started coming out and the race continued to go on. The suit did not feel the best.
Good. All right, so mile 3, basically done with almost done with the 5K. It's a 10K though. Starting to wear on me a little bit. Suit's getting a little bit, a little bit sweatier, a little bit more bunched up, but it's feeling all right generally. We are on hill right now though, so that's not the best, but nothing too terrible. Nothing I haven't dealt with before.
And there was one point where the DJ was, playing music right as you crossed the bridge. It went, yeah, yo, is that Spider-Man? And he was just like so hyped to see me, and it was so cool for someone to be like, yo, Spider-Man, just like cheering me on. It was so exciting because this is kind of, everybody's been, in their own homes for like a year now. So being able to go back out there and have people get hyped up and all that stuff. They had a whole like Hawks drum line and cheerleaders and stuff. They were all excited. They were happy to see Spider-Man. There was also another group where they were handing out watermelon, which was super nice, very refreshing. But I had my hand out and I got watermelon from one person. But then before I could like bring it in and, eat it, another person put watermelon in my hand. And they just like kept doing it. So I had like watermelon overflowing out of my hand. I was like, guys, I appreciate it, but I can only carry so much watermelon. And they were like, come on, Spider-Man, you got some watermelon. So, I mean, it was very nice, but it was just too much watermelon for the middle of a road race. There was also this one girl who, she was very nice. And, we ran, she took a picture with me, and then we were talking for a little bit. And we were walking for a while. And then we were talking about, what happened with the race and, how many races we've run and that kind of stuff. And then she kind of just like, again, very nice. She kind of just like kept talking to me about her college drama. And then after that, the conversation kind of died. But, I don't know if you know this. I am freaking incredibly socially awkward. So I was just kind of like, just walking there like, yeah, well, there was no real conversation going on because I didn't know how to be like, hey, I'm recording a video. Can I go record this video or something? But, that's just in character for Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Like, what else would he do other than just be very socially awkward around a girl and be like, hey, I got to go do this thing, but not actually say that because that's what I was doing. I was just kind of like, yeah, cool. She was very nice, though. that was another reason. Like, if she had been, like, rude or something, it would have been easier because I'd been like, hey, gotta go. But she was very nice, so I didn't want to just, like, bail. So that was, that was an experience. But also, speaking of being socially awkward, like Spider-Man, whenever people cheered for me, especially at the beginning, I didn't know what to say. So either I would just go like, woo, and just cheer back. Yeah, woo! Woo! Or I would just say my own name. I would be like, Spider-Man! And like, they would be like, yeah, Spider-Man, get running. I'd just go, Spider-Man! Like, I'm some sort of freaking Pokemon. Just, I can only repeat my own name. I got better by the end. I was like, oh, thanks for coming out. Happy 4th, because it's almost the 4th. This was run on July 3rd, Saturday, July 3rd. That's what day it is today. But, every once in a while, I'd get a little overwhelmed. They'd be like, yeah, Spider-Man. I'd just be like, yeah, Spider-Man. That's me. It's just not the best calling card, but to just shout your own name, but that's what I decided to go with. As the race finished up, I went and I ran the whole way down. Also, fun fact, with this mask, just like glasses do when there's a lot of heat, these eye things fog up. So as I was running down that last stretch, because there's a big hill you run down towards the end, I could hardly see anyone. I could only see them if they were like this close to me, like almost like right to the point of bumping into them. So I kind of had to like pull it up, take a look, and then pull it back down, just like, you know, small blinks of vision so I could see. But it was very exciting. The guy at the finish line was, you know, cheering everybody on. He's like, yeah, all these people in wait and see you, you know, come on, get your stuff. And also come see Spider-Man, because he was very caught off guard by me just running down the hill, full mask and everything.
Finish line. As you see, Uncle Sam and Betsy Ross, they've been here to greet you.
Woo!
6 years in a row, they're here to greet Spider-Man.
That's one of the best things about this race and about running as Spider-Man. People were just so excited to see me. And like, it was such a fun time because everyone was just cheering on Spider-Man because Spider-Man's doing the Peachtree, I guess. It was a great thing. And then after I finished the race, I went out into Piedmont Park and they had, you know, everything set up. They get your, you know, some snacks, you get a t-shirt, and you'd meet up with your whoever you came with and you'd head on out. And it was really fun time. I won't lie and say it wasn't tough though. I mean, it's 6.2 miles. That's a 10K right there. And it was, you know, it was kind of rough at times, especially if it were any hotter. It was nice, like a nice balmy 80 something degrees, which was a lot better, especially considering about a week ago, it said it was going to be around 100 degrees today. And then a few days ago, it said it was going to be pouring rain. So either one of those would have killed me, but it worked out well today. Still, though, a full Spider-Man costume, if you don't train for it, I don't advise running it. I don't necessarily advise running it anyways, but if you train for it, it's not as bad. Then, of course, once the race was over, I went and what else would you do in Georgia but get a delicious Waffle House breakfast afterwards? I mean, come on. Also, there was one little kid in the Waffle House who had a Spider-Man shirt on, and he was very excited to see Spider-Man hanging out in the Waffle House booth. And we took a picture. His parents took a picture of us, and I just wonder, what kind of story is that going to be when he tells his friends? He's like, "Yeah, I was in Waffle House, and I met Spider-Man." And there's a picture to prove it. But why is Spider-Man just hanging out in the Waffle House? And with as much turmoil and trouble this race caused me, it was all worth it though, because you get the Peachtree T-shirt. What's better than Peachtree T-shirt? I mean, come on, look at it. It's just that's just a butt.